Is it work? Yes, it's working now. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, for some reason my mic had just disappeared. Let's just make sure the music's not too bloody loud. sorry. Hello everybody. Who's here? Let's see. We've got Aswell so below, Richard, Tracy, Regan, Yolandi's here, and Zanka. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Just give me a shout out if the music's a bit too loud. Yeah, Tool. I thought I'd play the Tool radio playlist today. So it's got a variety of other people, not just Tool. But it looks pretty good. I'm just going to turn it down slightly because it looks quite noisy on my end. Okay, let me know if the volume's okay though. How's everybody doing? I wonder what happened to my mic. It just disappeared. I was messing around. You'll notice I put like a little what's playing now thing in the corner so you can see. So if anybody's wondering who the band is, it's right there. Much easier. Richard, volume is okay, wouldn't mind a longer weekend. Oh, I know. It's been hectic and I think it's just going to continue to be hectic. But we will survive. And we'll get through it. We should be used to it by now. What should you be used to? Me ignoring you. Luke, hello Luke. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody had a good week. Mine's been really hectic, really busy. And it's, yeah, as I said, it's going to continue to be hectic, so I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, put that up there. I don't see myself in the corner. Let's see. While we wait for everybody to get revved up and going, let's just do this quickly. I was actually reading something earlier in regards to the whole idea of whether the gods created us or we created the gods type of thing, and a lot of people do get confused in regards to this, and I don't think we need to be that confused. It's just kind of difficult to wrap your head around sometimes, and I think I was thinking about it, and I think maybe one of the easiest ways to view this would be to kind of look how we perceive other people. So when a person is born, they are a baby and they start to get influenced by their parents, and then their family starts to engage a bit more, the more extended family, and then they grow up a little bit and they go to school and they meet teachers, and they get influenced by their teachers. But all of these interactions with all of these different people in our lives it causes these people to create a perception of who we are, and we become that perception. So, from the time we're a baby, our parents have a particular perception about us, and that perception grows and develops over the years. Our teachers have a particular perception about us. Some teachers might like us, some teachers might think we're an absolute pain in the arse. And then we start to make friends, and our friends, each friend has a perception of who we are and what we are and the type of person we are. And then we may make some enemies or people that just don't like us, and they have a particular perception about us. And life continues, and we meet all these people, and every single person we meet has a completely different perception of who we are. And based off that, that's who we become. Now, if you take that and you kind of transplant that idea onto the gods, then you've got, take a particular god. And hi, Kerry, morning. Take a particular god and over millennia, and you haven't just got like a few people interacting here and there as the years go by. You've got hundreds, thousands of people from all different cultures who are interacting with this god, and they have their personal interactions are all very personal to them, and those interactions, those perceptions they put upon the deity, upon the spirit, actually forms what the spirit becomes. Now, let's say one day, many years back, when my daughter was a toddler, I put on a pink tutu and had tea with the fairies and my daughter. And somebody came along, and this is the first meeting they've ever had with me. This is the first time they've ever met me. This becomes their perception of who I am. But that was just a fleeting moment. That was just a fun little tea time I was having with my daughter and the fairies. But that's a completely different perception of what everybody else would have. So let's say that some person comes along and they have a particular interaction with the spirit which is very, very different to everybody else. Then they create this perception of the spirit, this deity, that is totally different to everybody else. And that's the perception that holds for them. So, when we say that, we talk about correspondences and things like this, and, like Hecate or Lilith or whoever has hundreds and hundreds of different correspondences, because hundreds of people, thousands of people have had personal experiences that have shaped the way they view this deity and the way that deity then becomes for them. And that's why, over millennia, interacting with millions upon millions of people, these spirits become the perception of these millions and millions of people and different cultures. Going from one culture to another, the experience and perception is going to be extremely different as well. Things that are allowed to be done and not allowed to be done, taboos and likes and dislikes, all of those things start to play into this. And this just becomes incredibly vast. So, did the gods create us, or did we create the gods? Neither and both. When we talk about the gods, they didn't actually create us, they are just part of this cosmos, same as we are part of this cosmos. But did we create the gods? No. But we also developed them. We continue to have different perceptions, which then continued to develop these spirits, the personality of them. So, it's quite an I thought it was quite an interesting thing to think about anyway. Alright, let's get back to the chat. Luke, Sappho and Justiana are here. Hello, thanks for joining. Luke said, I tried to communicate with this new succubi. I didn't know her name and nothing happened. I know there has to be a way, maybe time will help. Yeah, just give it time. If the interaction's supposed to happen, it will. So, keep going if you want to. Kerry Lee, have you worked with President Viewer? I haven't. No, I haven't. Let's just have a check on Viewer, actually. Because usually if I haven't worked with a particular spirit, it's because I've had no cause or reason to. So let's have a look. Luke, I also have a question. I guess it's connected, but I would like to hear your thoughts about it. Go ahead. Ask a question. And we'll, if anybody else has got any thoughts, throw it in the chat. I mean, this is a community after all. Alright, let's see. One of those Sagittarius ones. He teaches philosophy, both moral and natural, and the logic of art, and also the virtues of all herbs and plants. He heals all distempers in men and give us good familiars. I'm sure I came across this one recently. Somebody was asking about him. It might have been another one. Oh, it can overcome thoughts of addictions and bad behaviors. That's good. Yeah, I guess that's why you're using him. Calling upon him. Michael, hello Michael, and James, welcome. Opinions on Vril? Who's Vril? The name rings a bell, but I can't remember why. Let's have a look. The Power on the Coming Race. Originally published in The Coming Race is the novel by Edward Bulwer-Lytton. Published. Is that what you're talking about, The Coming Race? I actually don't. I haven't read anything about this. I've had no discussions or interactions with anybody regarding that, so I wouldn't know. We don't believe the account of a superior subterranean master race and the energy form called Roll. This starts to tie in with Blavatsky and probably the Mahatmas. She called them the Mahatmas. It was a group of beings that taught us, or taught a group various things, or the group taught people various things. This then ties into the secret chiefs of the Golden Dawn. Same thing, really. I think most traditions have that kind of idea. Michael said, Rel is the universal life force energy that permeates all matter and space in the universe. It's your life force energy. Okay, then this is very different to the coming race of Rel. Alright. In that case, you're talking about chi, or what the Kabbalists would call Avir, which is universal life force energy. Some people call it Reiki. It's also considered universal life force energy. It's just a very specific current. Not from the book, it comes from secret societies. Well, Bulwer-Lytton was part of those secret societies in the late 1800s. But yeah, I mean, if it's universal life force energy, it's got various names, various titles. So I'm not sure if we're talking about the same thing, actually, because I'm not. It seems like you're looking for something very specific. Just give me a bit more info if you want to. I'm going to carry on with the other stuff. James Dixon Hiley, I just wanted to say thanks for your recommendations from last week for ceremonial magic. I've been exploring my options and plan on beginning an adapted practice after QCon. Okay, that's good. As long as it helps somewhat. Luke, before sleep, I was wondering what I could do to connect deeper with the Sakurai I am close with. I drew a sigil in my left hand, and below her name, in one scene of Dream, I was holding this marker. I don't think you can do. I mean, you're doing everything. You're dreaming about the spirit. So, what more do you actually want to do? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, if you draw the sigil on your left hand, it's the same as doing what Connolly calls ascension work through dreaming, what you can't actually specify through dream work, where you basically place the spirit sigil under your pillow or under your bed, and then sort of chant the end or repeat the name as you're falling asleep, and then dream of the spirit. But that's what you're doing. So I'm not sure how you want to connect deeper, because you're already dreaming of this succubi, and they usually come in dreams anyway. So not sure. You'd have to let me know about that. Tiziana, I astral projected in my dream. Good stuff. I could push myself out of my dream body. It's like double astral projection. It's actually, yeah, no, I know what you mean, but it's actually not. It's you do. It can be that kind of experience where you push yourself out of your own, out of the body you're in while you're dreaming. You kind of push yourself. Yeah, I know what you mean. You know? It's just shifting from one state into another state, really. Seraphim, hello, how are you doing? Eternal blessings, Haley. Saw you on Clip Off Quest 1 year update. Yeah, I like that. I like him. He's great. And I don't know how he grows his beard so fast. He didn't have a beard a year ago, and all of a sudden it's down here somewhere. I'm still up here. Yeah, very weird. Yeah, it was great, by the way. Yolandi, not sure if it's my side, but the picture is freezing every now and then, and there is some buffering sporadically as well. It's probably my side. My internet's been a bit slow the whole day. I'm not sure why. Let me just do a quick speed test. Kerry at James, I cringe at the term ceremonial magic for Abrahamic religion ties. Reject Abraham. I reject Elohim. They bastardized our demons, using their voice to manipulate them, insult them. You know, you actually, you need, well, I know what you're saying, but it's not, it's the people that did it. So, you know, you have to bear that in mind. Yeah, speed's okay, it's not bad, but it's not great. I don't know. But, I mean, when it comes to the Abrahamic religions, you're including Kabbalah within that, and ceremonial magic has practically everything we do is based in Hermeticism, which was immersed in ceremonial magic. I mean, if you're doing a demonology circle where you are calling Lucifer, Flareus, Leviathan, and Belial to the quarters, which has a placement of air to the east, and then going round sunwise, you would then have fire, water, and earth. That's based in ceremonial magic. Most of what we do in most of the traditions and paths that we follow is based in ceremonial magic. So you need to kind of separate some things from other things. You know, rejection of Elohim. Why? Elohim is just a particular name of God, the Kabbalistic God, the Jewish God. And you'll probably find that actually comes out of the name El, which was Sumerian, Babylonian, Sumerian, etc., etc. It had much older roots, so nothing to do with Christianity, absolutely nothing to do with Christianity, and I think that's what you are aiming at rejecting here, which is what most people aim to reject. But we've got to be careful when, you know, we start to go down those routes. It's kind of like this blanket statement of, you know, I'm going to reject all these things. I've seen people say that, you know, they reject all angels and angel magic because it's Christian. It's not at all. Absolutely not. So, you know, just kind of follow those routes, those lines back to where you're actually going. Luke, do you think there's any hidden message in it, like the marker I used to draw this sigil and write a name appear in dream, like a Hajj in your hand? Probably just that the connection has been made. that you have gone into a lucid dream. So the practice that you were doing was successful. That's really what I don't think there's any hidden message, but that would be the message behind that, I suppose. It's just carried into the dream, which was the thing you were aiming for. So yeah. As above, so below. When is one ready for the Abramelin rituals? Whenever you want to be ready, really. I don't think there is a particular time. As long as you've done your foundational work, so you know how to sit down and meditate. Because especially if you're going to do Abramelin, specifically, you are going to have to inflame yourself with prayer. And coming back to, like Kerry said, Elohim, Supreme Being. We're all Supreme Beings. Elohim is just one name for that all-empowering, all-know thing. But you know, if you're doing the Abramelin, you're going to be inflaming yourself with prayer, and it's very specific to that particular current of Kabbalistic faith, and tapping into the angelic and the names of God and all that stuff. You're going to have to be very okay with that, because seeing that we're on the topic of rejecting the Abrahamic. As long as you've got your foundational stuff done, so you can sit for long periods of time, meditate and get yourself into one point of focus and all that stuff, work with energy, get yourself into trance, etc., 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 then you can do Abramelin. And if you want to do something different, go for it. If Abramelin doesn't quite suit you, you don't feel comfortable with it. It took me 2 tries, because the first try I was very much in that pagan mindset, that rejection of the angels and things like that. I then got more into Kabbalah, specifically practical Kabbalah, when I met my mentor there. So I kind of got a better understanding of what was going on. And that's what allowed me to then, the second time I did it, it connected a lot easier, a lot better. But whenever you're ready, I mean, the Abramelin is about reaching knowledge and conversation with your holy guardian angel and your lower daemon, getting your 4 familiars, all of the stuff we're doing in the temple, really. We're just doing it in a different sort of progressive order, in a different way, in a different fashion. Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea. And TH. Howdy, folks. Love the channel. Thank you very much. Glad you joined us. You are a new name in the lineup, so I'm assuming this is the first time you've been on a Covenstead live, and this is just everybody getting together, being witchy, talking about whatever they want to talk about. So if you've got any questions or any comments, just throw them in the chat. Yes, it was lucid. There was a bunch of dreams with many girls. We'll try focus on my intuition more. Seems like it was a good step. Thanks so much. Pleasure. Absolutely. I think you may be trying to reach a level that I think we could probably say becomes a bit more fantastical. We have this idea that when we do magic, it has to be like this poof, wow, boom, bang, and it's not. And then when it's not, we kind of get a bit disappointed. So we keep reaching for this bigger thing. I think that might be what you're doing. But then the problem is you keep reaching for the bigger thing and you're missing out on the message itself, because you're just going straight past that. You're ignoring all the messages and over here, because you're trying to get to this bigger thing that doesn't really exist. So just immerse yourself in the experience itself. It's really it. As above, so below. I asked because I did some geomancy to see if my HGA was actually named the name they gave me, and I got no, and kept doing readings telling me they were actually a trickster. Our head's paste wasn't good. Alright, in that instance, first of all, that's why we have backup or other methods of divination. Double check information if it doesn't sound right, if something sounds a bit weird. Double check the information. The other thing in regards to geomancy, there is a method to find the name of your daemon. This is not your holy guardian angel. This is your I think Levi called it the nativity daemon. There's also a method to find it if you go through your natal chart. I don't know what that is. It's very specific, and your time of your birth has to be perfect. You have to know it exactly right. It's kind of very specific, but you can also use geomancy to get the same name. I'm not sure how accurate it would be with geomancy. Apparently it is. I haven't done it myself. But just be careful of that, because what might be happening is you are inquiring about the name of your HGA, but you're using a method which is to find the name of your nativity daemon, which, you know, we've spoken about this before. You have your lower self and your higher self, we think in these terms, and the lower self would be this lesser daemon, and the higher self would be the holy guardian angel. And when you go through Abramelin, you are supposed to make contact, and even if you go through the PGM, workings in the PGM, it's the same thing. You make contact with this lower daemonic energy, and then you make contact with the higher daemonic energy of this holy guardian angel. They go into union. So it might be that with the geomancy, it's giving you, it's kind of saying that the name you've got for your HGA is not the same as what your nativity daemon is, because it wouldn't be. It'd be very different. The name of your HGA cannot be found in any charts, in your natal chart or anything. It cannot be found anywhere. It cannot be found through divination, as far as I know and I'm concerned. It's a very, very private thing that should not be passed on to anybody else. And if it was found in your natal chart, you can control people and things and places and events and everything else just by finding out what the name of their nativity daemon is within their chart. So to try and get hold of someone's HGA name, no, that's definitely not anywhere listed anywhere. Absolutely not. It's probably that there was a confusion there with the geomancy. Right, carry on. Andrea, Alistair is here as well. Hello, Alistair. I have to mention that, so he's not left out. Kerry, I've been using tarot sparingly, and I'm talking with my spirit team more. President Bureau is a little more subtle than Duke Agara's. I love President Marvas. I work with Marvas with healing techniques. I think he's great. I love Marvas. As above, so below. Yeah, I feel like my headspace was off, plus my lack of knowledge is geomancy still. Also, the experiences I've told you about with him are profound enough. Yeah. But I mean, if it's gonna worry you, then pick up another form of divination and just double check. But I think that's probably what's happened. The geomancy is picking up your lower daemonic or your nativity daemon, and kind of confusing that with the HGA, and therefore, it's not the same name, possibly. Luke, thank you so much for making a video about Verrier. I connected with her a few times, and our energy works so good together. It's something incredible. That's great, good stuff. Glad to hear it. Sect, hello Sect. Hello there. Any experience working with Beelzebub? I do like Beelzebub. There were two spirits I actually added in when I started with the Egregore project. It was originally the demonic wealth web. And the idea there, and I actually got the idea from Balfagor, but I included Beelzebub as a business aspect. And I kind of like Beelzebub. A lot of people have the idea that he is the Lord of Flies. I don't. I think that's a misinterpretation. I think he is the Lord of Flying Things. Which would then sort of indicate air travel. Even you could even look at it in terms of astral projection, but I think it is really about physical flight. Airplanes, kites, all of that type of stuff, flying things. But you asked any recommendations working with him. Just go slowly with him. He has got a bit of a sharp energy to him, but at the same time, it's kind of like, he's kind of sharp on the edges, but soft in the middle type of thing. But yeah, just go slowly. He is one of those bigger energies, and I don't like kind of saying lesser and higher or smaller and bigger and things like that, because then it starts to create these ideas of power hierarchy in people's minds, and I don't like that at all. But there are some spirits which have a kind of a smoother energy. They're easier to connect with, to get to know, and things like that. And then you have these ones which have these big energies, and it's kind of like if you're not prepared for it, you kind of connect and it blows you off. And Beelzebub is one of those. Same as very similar energy, strength, if we can put it that way, to Mammon, for instance. But yeah, just so, as I said, just go slowly. What I would recommend is making a spirit box. I'm always recommending spirit boxes. So you just make a little box, get a little box of some kind, and you can paint or carve the sigil on the top or inside somewhere, make it decorative. And then you just put little offerings in, and you can put little prayer papers in, and then if you do it once a week or once a month or whatever, you can take the old prayer papers out, burn them, put the ashes back in, and put a new prayer paper in, and things like that. So you get to connect with the energy of the spirit through the spirit box. It's not that the spirit is in the spirit box, but their energy is connected to it. And you just kind of, after you've made it, you kind of sit down with it and you call the spirit, and through the chanting of the N or whatever method you use, just call their energy towards you, and then ask them to connect their energy to the spirit box, where they will then get various offerings and things like that. And it works really, really well. Worked with that for years. Sappho, I try not to name my HGA. A name is a powerful thing. I would rather take their sigil. Yeah, a sigil is a powerful thing as well. I mean, that's how you connect with the spirits. A sigil, in a sense, is a name. It's just a symbolic name, a glyph instead of a sound. And even that holds vibration and energy. But it's, if that's how you prefer to do it, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Kerry, at Sex, I tried once, but the connection wasn't there. The Lord of High Places, in regard to Beelzebub. Regan, what are simple ways of cleansing? Kerry said take a shower. One way, yeah. When if you have a daily shower and you're cleaning all the dirt off, all the physical dirt, at the same time clean all the energetic dirt. What I do after I've had my physical shower, I stand and with the water going over my head and running down my body, and kind of just stand there for a little bit and just imagine all the energetic dirt going off. And then I cross my arms, my hands over my arms onto my shoulders, and then I just kind of sweep down and push all the negative energy off. And I do that 7 times. It's just the number I like to do. So that's one way. Another way is to Do a banishing ritual. Now, I must actually talk about this on one of my well, weekly videos. Um, when you do banishing rituals, there's two mindsets you can be in when you're doing this. The first is that you are resetting the space you're going to be working in to do ritual, which is what people usually do when they do things like the LBRP or the hexagram banishing rituals and all that stuff. What you're doing is you are going to be doing a particular ritual, and you stand in your space and you do this ritual and you reset everything. You clear everything out, negative, positive, everything. You just clear it out of that space, and then it's reset, and then you form a barrier. Then you can call in the energies that you want in, so that the space, the sacred space you're working in, is then pure. All right. That's resetting. That's getting rid of everything. That's clearing away the negative and the positive, everything around you. Okay. But what you could do, I have a little banishing ritual that I created. I teach in the temple. If you go and join as a free member, it's actually the one I instruct everybody to do there. And it's really a cleansing. So it calls on the Trigrammaton ERO, and it calls on the Mother, the Father, and the Child within that format. And then there's a little bit of an advanced one which is taught in 2nd degree, where you actually start to mix the energies up and turn everything and create a cosmic cross and blah blah blah, etc, etc. But basically it's just I do it every morning. It's like a personal cleansing. All right. And it also incorporates some qigong aspects to it. So it really is sweeping the negative energy away, bringing the positive energy in, and then sealing that positive energy in, ready for your day. Okay. So there's that as well. You can another thing that you would probably want to do is make sure that your house is clean, or your flat or apartment or whatever. Just keep it clean, because if you have a dirty environment, that tends to generate negative energy, which then you pick up. So if you keep your apartment clean, your environment clean, it's easier to keep yourself cleansed. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about doing cleansing. But those are the ones I use myself. What else? You can actually take cleansing baths as well, spiritual baths, if you want to do something. If you have a need to really cleanse yourself, if there's you find that you keep doing the daily cleansings and there's just something that keeps attaching to you, just won't go away, then what you can do is a spiritual bath. There's loads of recipes that you can add to the water itself, but basically you're not going to be washing in this bath physically. This is purely a spiritual cleansing bath. And what you're going to do is usually take a jug with you into the bath. You can do it in a shower. You can stand in a basin and do this in the basin itself. But if you're doing a bath, take a jug with you. But what you usually do prior to that is, before you get into the bath, is actually make some kind of herbal and mineral mixture. Usually mineral as in Epsom salts. I usually just add Epsom salts myself. But you might want to add protective aspects to this, like Angelica. You can add some rue to it, and whatnot. If you're going to add herbs and roots, then you're going to want to just boil them on the stove in a pot, let it cool down so it's not boiling hot, and then add it to your bath water. And then you can add some Epsom salts, or some, if you're going to add ammonia, some recipes have ammonia in, just a little bit, not a lot, because it can be very overpowering. So just be careful with the ammonia. I don't like adding ammonia myself, just because of that reason. It does dilute a lot in the water if you're in a bath, but just be careful with that. But Epsom salts is great for a mineral base. Anyway, so if you find a recipe, use the recipe, put that in your water, get in the water and just soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just soak. So what you're doing is you're allowing the minerals and the herbs and everything to kind of soak into your pores, into your skin. and pull out the negative energies. And then that all goes into the water. So while you are soaking, just think about, or you can say a prayer if you want to. You can reach out to a specific deity. You can reach out if you are connected with the demonic divine. You might reach out to Leviathan, because he is the element of water, and the cleaning dark waters, etc., etc. So you can reach out to Leviathan or whoever, and then just ask, say a prayer, get all this energy out of you into the water. And then after 10 minutes, you can time this perfectly if you want. Some people do like 9 minutes, because 9 minutes is the number of power over or control of. Then what you do is, you've got your jug with you. So what you do is you bath, and you take a jug of water and you pour it over your head. And you allow all that water to rush down. This is from head to toe. You are going from head to toe to release, to get rid of stuff when you're doing a spiritual bath. This is why you can do it in a shower. If you've added the herb mixture in the basin in the shower, you can pour over your head. So you do that, and you can do this more than once. Just do it until you feel you're done, and then let the water out. There are a lot of different rituals that different people do regarding the wastewater. You can take a basin of it and throw it to the west, for instance, to get rid of, remove. But I just let it go down the drain. It's going to go away from me anyway. It's going to go away. So let's just check. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. For some reason, OBS disconnects me at least once during the show. Alright, I'm not sure where I dropped off there, but I'm going to just repeat a little bit. If you missed anything, just let me know. So once you out of the bath, air dry, to a certain point, just let everything soak in, the protective and cleansing elements of the soap, the bath, and then dry yourself off with the towel. Okay, and that's a spiritual bath. Very long explanation as well. Alright, so I'm going to carry on now. Hope that helped. Luke, what are the possible benefits of connecting with Tufon? I feel like he pulling me sometimes, but I don't know why. I have no idea. I've never worked with Tufon myself. If you are going to go down the Tufonic route, just be careful of various mentions from people who follow, or Kenneth Grant himself, which was supposed to be a trilogy. But it came out to 9 books, and I'm actually reading through those books at the moment. I've started with the first book again. I'm going to read through all of them this time, and the amount of rubbish I'm finding in them is amazing. And I was also reading some stuff about Kenneth Grant himself and the books, and it's believed that he actually wrote it all as a joke and didn't believe anything that he was writing himself, because he came up with this idea that the original Teutonic and Draconic religion came out of Central Africa before any other civilization, from what I understand. And it's just there's just too much garbage in there. I mean, it's not even a question of if it's worldview based, I believe this and he believed that. It's not even that. I mean, there's some things in the books which he goes into. What was it? The geometric number of Shaitan. I forgot the number itself, but he got it wrong, completely wrong. Hebrew, in Hebrew, the name Shaitan is made up of the letters Shin, Tet, and Nun. And there are various letters in the Hebrew alphabet which have a final position. So Yod He Vav He, for instance, is Yod He Vav He final. So it has it's the end of the word type of thing. Not all letters carry this, but Nun does. It has a final aspect, but it's not often used in the name Shaitan it is, however. So it's actually Shin Tet. I think it was Tet. I'm sure it was Tet. Anyway, I'll have to go back and double check myself again as well. But a Shin Tet Nun Final. And the number he came up with was something like 369 or 359. But when you take Nun Final, it goes into the thousands. So even his gematria is wrong in the book. You know, so it's not just worldview. It's also just factual stuff that you can go and check on. I guess he didn't have Google at the time, but you can go and check on Google. But he should, something, being who he was. I don't know. There was just a lot of stuff that he wrote that was it was too misleading. And the problem is a lot of people have kind of taken all of this information and run with it. And there's all this misinformation out there, and they've built entire fucking magical systems on this information. So it gets a bit terrifying sometimes. But anyway, yes, if you're going to go down the Tufan route, just be careful of the information you get. Sift through it properly, do your discernment, and everything else. Kerry Lee, you mentioned protecting magic in the past, but I thought my shadow and none hold power over me. Why do I need protection magic? Because you're not invincible. Simple as that. If you think you are, then you are unprotected. So, don't think you're invincible ever. Something will always get through. And if you think you're invincible, you're way too cocky, and therefore something is going to get through. So just be careful on how you're actually thinking, or your thought process there. As above, so below. Vinegar is great to add to vases. Oh yes, vinegar is marvelous, wonderful. It's a very cutting type of. I think vinegar would be considered a mineral. Not entirely sure. But it's similar to lemon, actually. Lemon's also kind of like cutting aspect to it. So, yeah. Yolandi, I love bathing in a mixture of salt and very little tea tree oil to get rid of energies that I was in a shopping centre, for example. Yeah, tea tree oil is wonderful. One of those kind of like cure-all type things to it. But tea tree oil is good. I actually made my own oils at one stage, which were pretty damn good. Uncrossing oil I used to put in the bath, which was absolutely wonderful. It smelled great as well. Kerry said that sounds heavenly. Landy, it says the tea tree oil I use if very concentrated, so it depends on the strength of your oil that determines how much you. Oh yeah, how much you use. Yeah, be careful of. I think tea tree oil. I think I'm not an aromatherapist myself. I think tea tree oil is kind of like okay, and usually it's diluted as far as I know. But yeah, if you're going to start using other essential oils, just be careful you're not allergic to them and things like that. So having pets around can be detrimental depending on what the essential oils are. So just do your research on that. Just make sure you're keeping yourself and everybody else safe. Lucasy, thank you, but I wouldn't be bad for me to connect with him in the fact that I have a bond with Artemis, Hades, Athena, Melino, and Hecate. No, actually, I mean, if you've got it sounds like you've got a very strong Greek connection, so, Tefon would definitely fit in there. Who was the other serpent? Oh, Python. Oh, well, it's pronounced Python, but I don't know, it's spelled Python in English. Was it Python or Tuffon? No, it was Python who protected the... I'm forgetting names. Oracle... The Delphi Oracle of Delphi, etc., etc., whatever that was. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. That's above so below. One time I didn't dilute some clove oil. Oh, I put some on my neck and it burnt the fuck out of me. Oh, yes, it would. What was the other one I remember very early on being warned about was bergamot oil. Oh, people were putting it on the inside of their arm, just the straight essential oil, and then they would go into the sun. That was it. It was fine if you put it on your skin. It was okay, you know, for most people. But then you go into the sun and it just heats up and burns like shit. But yeah, I mean, just gotta be careful with oils and stuff. You know, they can be quite dangerous. Okay, humility keeps me grounded. Good stuff. Okay, as long as you've got humility, that's all right. But yeah, no. You know, the reason we do protection magic is because something at some point is going to get through. You know, I'm really well protected, but I've had instances where it's been 6 months and I haven't even realised that something's come through and it's affected me. And then I kind of sit down and think about it, and yeah, then you can start to see the things that happened. So yeah, no, I don't think you're invincible. And keep the work up. Never stop. Yeah, it's been an hour. I haven't even sipped my hot chocolate. That's disgusting. Sect, any experience with Solomonic Pentacles? Not a lot. I've used them in the past, but not to any great effect. I probably just used them wrong, and this was a while back, so maybe I'll pick it up again in the future. Now I've learnt a bit more. You know, when it comes to the pentacles, it's said that you should actually inscribe them on the proper materials, like silver, in order to properly activate them and things like that. There is that book by, what's her name? Oh, I'm always forgetting her name. Somebody can remind me. I know somebody will. Who is the lady? Mastros. Let me just find that. See if that picks up. Oh, what happened to my entire computer's slow. Here we go. Sarah Al Mastros. The books are a bit pricey, so I haven't picked them up yet. But she's apparently amazing, and she's got an entire book. I'm going to find the title for you. It's going to while I'm waiting for my computer and everything to load. Oh, here we go. Planetary Nebula 100. Hello. Would you have any interest in appearing on a small podcast that often covers magic and esotericism? Yeah, absolutely. Just send me an email. You'll find it in my profile on the channel. It's webleydev@gmail.com. Send me an email, and then we'll have a talk. Would you have any interest? I'm assuming. I was assuming me. Sorry. Yeah, if it wasn't me, just let me. Let's find this book. There is a Sorcery of Solomon, I'm sure. Yes, it was that. The Sorcery of Solomon, a guide to the 44 planetary pentacles of the Magician King. That's the book. Oh, it's not that bad. The Kindle version's $18.60. Crazy prices. Yeah, no, not too badly priced. And they're, as I said, they are said to be amazing books. She is said to be an incredible scholar. So if you are interested in Solomonic Pentacles and you haven't read that, then I'd definitely go suggest that. Right, everybody stop chatting now. How's the music going? Everybody still happy with the music? Let's see what's going on over here. I like this little widget, it's quite cool. Alright, let's readjust. In experience working with Kings Again? No, I haven't worked with Kings Again. I always say this, people come and say, have you worked with this spirit and this spirit and this spirit and this spirit? There are literally thousands upon thousands of thousands of spirits. I only work with a handful. So, you know, I haven't worked with Zagan, no, sorry. Kaylee, what's the greatest offering you've given? My time. You know, when I couldn't afford to give my time, that's probably the greatest offering I've given. Yeah. Because I mean, when we think about our precious time and how it dwindles away, even though time's not real. You know, every moment of every day, and this is the weird thing actually, we kind of like think that we don't have enough time, but we sit and procrastinate and watch TV series and all of this stuff, and when we could be doing other things. So to give that, to sacrifice time, I think is quite a big one, personally. Richard, I haven't heard a perfect circle in maybe 20 years. You have, because I've played it on Covenstead before. I'm sure it's come up. Any interest in Buddhism? I did actually. I went through several months where I immersed myself in Buddhism, and that kind of led on to Hinduism, where I immersed myself into that. And if I was going to go down the road of Buddhism again, I'd probably explore Tibetan Bon, because it has older roots which were actually pre-Buddhist, that got incorporated into Buddhism, and I think those roots would be very interesting to explore. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. I find Buddhism to be a bit too closely related to, or similar to, the Christian worldview, actually. It's a beautiful religion, it's absolutely beautiful religion. Or, can't really call it a religion. Yeah, you can. It's bringing yourself back into union with divinity, but yeah, I mean, tradition, religion, whatever. It really is beautiful, but yeah, just not something that would fit into my personal worldview. Yolandi at Richard, I thought I would have been given an option of music to listen to, but alas. You can suggest something if you want to. I can change the music, it's no problem. Kerry, your time, I wondered, of acts of service. I know. You see, I'm a bit of a hermit. So it wouldn't be anything that I would give service outside this space, kind of thing. If we are considering this, for instance, to be a service, which is a sacrifice, I suppose, this is giving up my time. But I love doing this, so I wouldn't consider this a sacrifice. I suppose it could be considered an offering to the deities themselves. Generally, I mean, this isn't dedicated to any specific deity, but you know, I mean, there's a lot of different services, so it depends what you were thinking of. Richard, I was thinking my time before you said it. It's a precious offering. Yeah, it is. Richard, Yolandi. For some reason, I can hear the music these days, and there's good songs. That's because I got the volume right, I think. It was backing before. Kerry, your mentorship as a service. This is church for me. Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, there you go. So we'll make this an offering to the gods. There we go. I wouldn't consider this offering though. Yes, I can see how it would be, but I wouldn't really consider that. I enjoy doing this too much. I suppose an offering doesn't have to be a sacrifice, but yeah. I want to get back to where was it? It was Michael. Opinions on Drill. I'm just very curious about this now. Just in case Michael is still here. But you did say Vril is the universal life force energy that permeates all matter and space in the universe. It's your life force energy. So that... I'm just going to find this now. I'll just scroll back down. That is Avir in Kabbalah. There's two types of energy that they speak about, isn't it? And Avir is the... Oops, my computer's just frozen. Hold on. Oh, I don't know if anybody... Oh, I can still hear me, okay. Carry fellowship is sacred. Absolutely, I agree with that. Totally agree with that. And community as well. Yeah, so there's Avir and Ruhaniyat. And Avir is the universal life force energy, which is outside any formed or formed body. So, for instance, I mean, besides our own physical body, like the pen, for instance, it has form to it. So, what's happening is the energy is coming in. All the little threads of energy are coming along, and they are going into the body of the pen, which is forming it. So the energy then becomes Ruhaniyat. It's formed life force energy. And that's what they speak about. I mean, we can talk about chi, we can talk about prana, which then gets connected with breath. We can talk about what's the other various ones. There's lots of different names for life force energy itself. But as I said, even Reiki is termed the universal life energy. In fact, I think that's exactly what it means. Let's have a look. Alright, let's keep that there. Reiki. Yolandi said, okay, just ginger, see the prime circle, mean Mr. Mustard, parlor tones, disturbing or disturbed. Right, I'll look for that just now. Let's just see what Reiki might mean, that's what I needed to write. Reagan, can I work with Leviathan? Absolutely, why not? I love Leviathan's energy. If so, what are the processes? Same with any other spirit. What you'll find is, if you are working modern demonology, you're going to be calling the elemental water, or the Leviathan as the elemental king of water. That I find is a different energy to... Oh, Leviathan has so many different masks, it's actually impossible to actually list all of them. Well, I don't think we'll be able to anyway. But so if you are working modern demonology, then just start with that. Start with the West. Start with the elemental king of water as being Leviathan, and interact in that way. Just sit down and just, cast the circle, then sit down facing the West, in the West, and just close your eyes and just reach out your senses to Leviathan. Ask Leviathan to come through, and see what energies come through, and you'll probably find it's very, very healing. And very balancing, emotionally balancing as well. In fact, I think the way things have been the past week, I think a lot of people could actually benefit from a connection with Leviathan at the moment. There's been a lot of disruption in the force. Okay, so Ray meaning universal, and Ki meaning vital life force energy. So Reiki is universal life force energy. That's real. There you go. So all the same thing. Right. What are we doing? We're going to change to, let's do actually I haven't heard parlor tones in ages. Parlor tone. Oh, parlor tones. We're going to do the parlor tones radio and see what it gives us. Just for the fun of it. Oh, it's got Springbok Nude Girls on this. Yay. Alright, here we go. Now where was I? Kerry said, Regan, of course you can work with Leviathan, just ask them. Leviathan is a good spirit to start with. Yeah, no, it's good. I think if if you're working, considering the four, besides Saturn, with the four, Lucifer, Florius, Leviathan, Belial, I think the two in that's quadruple, that's a word, would be the best ones, Lucifer and Leviathan, East and West, to begin with. They do have a very calming and like a gentle approach to them. And air with Lucifer is kind of like when you. I've had this happen. I don't know if everybody else has, and Richard will be able to attest to this because I think he felt it when I did it. When I invoked Lucifer, there's this breeze that comes through, or this wind kind of comes through, and it's like an energetic wind. With Leviathan, it's very kind of, I wouldn't say watery, but it's kind of this flowy energy. It's kind of, I don't know, you have to experience it. Just go do it. Go call. Yeah, but no, Leviathans are very, very gentle, I find, elemental king to work with. And if you then start to work with him from a healing and balancing perspective, then you'll probably find that that's a slightly different mask to Leviathan than the elemental king himself. And it's just really kind of like that gentle old man who is encouraging you forward, and kind of pushing but not too hard type of thing. So yeah, lovely spirit. Yolandi, I meant disturbed, been too disturbing the last few days. It has been, I think, for a lot of people actually. As above, so below. Need me some OB experiences. I think we all do. Well, I do. And you do. Maybe we should set up some testing. I need to get myself up early in the morning to do that. Richard, find the Leviathan a strong energy, but also very gentle. Yeah, that's really what it is. And yes, at me, that is exactly the way it was with Lucifer and Leviathan. Yeah. Very interesting spirits. When you work with Florius and Belial, that's a bit different though. Florius sometimes comes through as I wouldn't say taskmaster, that's more Belial is the taskmaster, kind of like you'll do it this way. You will not diverge from the plan. But Florius is very much an abrasive type of energy, very pompous. But yeah, strong, very strong as well. Alright, I don't know, I'm sure Yolandi will know the next song. What's it? verdoof, vergiftig, verskoon. I've never heard of this band either. Van Coke Cartel. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, for all the people overseas, this is Afrikaans rock. Alright. Kerry. Yeah, I tried to watch the 2025 astrology forecast and barely made it through the intro. Rev Kai's got me fired up for a challenging year. It's going to be a challenging year. And, you know, Rev Kai did say at the beginning, a lot of people are not going to want to hear or not going to be able to handle listening to what's coming through. So, yeah, no, it is going to be a very challenging year. But, you know, I think if we've got the roadmap, we can find our way through it a bit easier. So, you know, just stick to the plan. Really up. Andy, they are an Afrikaans band. You can hear that. They were big in the varsity scene. Oh, I've never heard of these guys. Oh, this is very South African. I mean, I know it's the parlour tones, but bloody hell. Let's see, we've got Springbok Nude Girls. I love them. Arno Carstens. Okay, I've never heard of A-King. Cutting Jade. They were quite good. I haven't heard those in a long time. One of Worm. Good. Of course, Combase. Oh my god. Yeah. This is a cultural appreciation day. Okay, we're doing all of the South African rock stuff. The title means sedated, poisoned, excuse me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, As Above, So Below likes all of the kind of gangster rap type stuff. And there's a lot of South African stuff there as well, but oh my god, some of it. I don't even want to go there. Jeez, there's bands in here I haven't heard of in years. Henry 8. Just Ginger. Desmond and the Tutus. Oh my word. This is going to be a very interesting playlist. Chris Chameleon, he was brilliant. I love Chris Chameleon. Kerry, going back through the convo, you mentioned knowing the natal chart for the name of the HGA. No, I don't know, and it's not the HGA, by the way. So let me explain them again. Levi, in 3 books on occult philosophy, I think it was in the 2nd book, he outlines a method of finding the name of your nativity or natal daimon, which is if you refer back to Abraham, that's what they call the lesser demon or the lower demon, which is the first aspect that you connect with before connecting with the HGA. So that's it's a method of finding it. The name can be found in the natal chart of the lower or the nativity, but that's not the same name as the HGA. It's not connected. You will not find the name of your HGA in anybody's natal chart. As above, so below. Oh yeah. Mensfletters. South African cannibal duo. That was insane. That was absolutely insane freaking music. Well, not really the music, the videos. Andy, welcome to South Africa. We're definitely not boring. Oh no. Well, I do love Springbok New Girls. Always have. Where was Arno Carstens? He was a member of what band? Go on, tell me before I find it. Oops. Not that one. Oh god, I'm older than Arno Carstens. Kerry Eliphas Levy, that Levy. Wait. Oh, I'm doubting myself today. It was Levy that wrote 3 books on occult philosophy, right? I think I'm getting everything confused with somebody else. Let me just double check. I have to type the second name as well. No, wait. Please hold. I'm going to do this. 3 books on occult philosophy. Oh, sorry, Agrippa, not Levy. I am getting my people mixed up. Agrippa. There you go. Thank you. As above, so below. There we go. This is why I tell everybody to check, double check, and triple check people's information, because we're only human. My computer's frozen again. Alright, what band did Arno Carstens belong to? So it was Springbok Nude Girls. It was Springbok Nude Girls, okay. Alright. Because now we've got Arno Carstens solo. Alright. Kerry, as opposed at as opposed to thank you. It's a pleasure from him. We're invisible alive. We're the whispers in the scream. We're not living in the west, and we're not coming from the east. Sharp